Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to go through my 3-month review of having the bike, and then also discuss about all the modifications I've made to the bike so far. I've had the bike for obviously just over 3 months, and I'm sitting at 791 miles. As I've said in my previous videos, I haven't done anything real long, big trips or anything on the bike yet. I'm still trying to get fully acclimated to motorcycle riding. I mean, I started back up riding in February when I got my 300. But I am very, very happy with my purchase when getting this bike. It has not done me wrong yet. Hopefully it doesn't ever. I mean, I know some of the 1100s in the past have had issues with like the oil leaking out of the stator and stuff like that. I'm hoping Honda has fixed all those kind of issues. But the bike I had in the shop once, and that was for the 600-mile checkup. The dealership charged me, it was, I want to say, in my previous video I said just over 200 miles or $200, but after looking at the receipt when I got back, it was around $240 for the 6-month checkup on the bike, and that was doing the oil change, the filter changes, stuff like that, make sure that all the bolts are tight, making sure the chain is cleaned, lubed, and tensioned. My 3 likes about the bike for having it for 3 months is, 1, I love the DCT. I love not having to worry about pulling the clutch in. I mean, yeah, it's not quote unquote being on a motorcycle because you're not pulling a clutch or playing with the friction zone and stuff like that. But it is a lot easier to ride, a lot less items to worry about. I could get on the bike and just start going and enjoy the ride. I mean, I do miss shifting once in a while, but with my 300 I was shifting way too much in town and stuff like that, and it started bothering my hand and everything like that. So the DCT I am loving it. I think it's one of those you love it or you hate it type of thing. A lot of people are still against the DCT just for the fact that you're not shifting, you're not pulling the clutch, you're not using the friction zones and stuff like that. But each person's allowed to have their own opinion, obviously. The second thing I'm liking is they changed the ergonomics on the 25s. The foot pegs are forward a little bit further than the 24s and older. The handlebars were pulled back a little bit. That being said, I did end up putting 1-inch risers, 1-inch up and 1-inch back risers. I am short and I have short arms, so I had to lean forward just a little bit on the stock setup, but now I can be sitting straight up. And the third thing I'm liking is the gas mileage on this. I've been averaging roughly in between 48 and 50 miles to the gallon on the bike. Depending on how hard I'm riding it, how much I'm playing around, and also the difference of being bare to having the windshield to now having my fairing. Three of the dislikes, I mean, obviously there's always something you're not going to be happy with. Three dislikes I have and with the bike is, the first thing is the engine braking. As soon as you let go of the throttle, it wants to do engine braking real bad. Obviously, I go in and set up the personal usage on my screen here and maybe play around with that. But I haven't really had the time to, or when I only when I time that I think about it is when I'm actually out here riding, and usually it's when I'm doing videos or I'm heading to work, so I don't want to be playing around with it then. The second thing I don't like about the bike is the seat. Even though it has the comfort seat, as Honda calls it, after about an hour on the bike, it does become painful when you're behind. I've been toying around looking at new seats, but right now I'm satisfied with dealing with the seat, the factory seat. Probably when I start getting into longer rides, I may want to look into getting a new seat. But for right now, the little bit of riding I do, I'm okay with the seat that I have. And the third, it's kind of hard because there's not much I don't dislike about the bike. But the third, if I had to be nitpicky, would be the road sync connection between the phone and the console. The navigation, it's just a little square that would be right here saying you need to have it, or you have a turn in a couple hundred feet or a couple miles or whatever. But also you lose your selections that you can't change anything, any settings or anything while you're connected to road sync. The interface is not as user-friendly as I'm used to on other devices. Now, speaking of the navigation and stuff like that, one thing I have not thought about until recently, watching Slight on YouTube, he just did an install of a console similar to this, but it's a third party. It's called Akuchi, and when you have your phone on the wireless charging on the quad lock, once it sits there for a while, the phone starts to heat up and your screen starts to dim and stuff like that. So you lose your visual aspect on their phone. So having it connected to the road sync might be helpful. I haven't had any issue right now, just for a fact, again, I don't do long rides. But that being said, that's really all I gotta really say on the review. We'll go into talking about the modifications, review of the modifications that I've done here shortly. Alright, I stopped to get off the bike and talk about all the modifications. I figured this would be the easiest way and you get a little visual of the changes. The first thing I'm going to go through is the saddlebags. These are the 28 liter Pantheon Viking bags. They are the quick mount. They detach here. They are key lockable, and you can have it that it's unlocked and you can still get to it and it stays closed and everything. The next thing I did were the Vans grips. I went with the orange. I wish they had a little bit darker orange to go with the paint, but I figured this would be the closest. Did the little foot pad. Did the crash bars from SW Motec. The fairing, I've talked about a few times. All this stuff I have videos on, so please check them out. On my tires, see if I can find an easy way to see it. Down here I have a little cap. They're the Fobo Bike 2 tire monitors. They sync to my phone and I can see what my tire pressures are. I've also added the Thunderbox from Heel Tech that I have my wireless charger wired to, so when the engine's off there's no power going to it. When the when the engine's on, the power's on. One other thing I've done that's not on the bike anymore was, before I had the fairing, I put on a Puig windshield. Again, I have videos on that. The last thing that I added was this Kaufman Thunder exhaust. It makes the bike sound awesome. So yeah, that's all the different mods I've made onto the bike. Speaking of the fairing, for my subscribers, I posted in the community page a poll. So if you have not subscribed, make sure you please subscribe. But the fairing, right now it's the matte black. I found a website that offers factory paints, and they actually have this flare orange factory paint that I can get spray paint and paint this and then put a clear coat on it. So right now I have a poll asking, should I keep this the matte black, or should I be bold and make it a flare orange? I know I have different opinions either way on myself, what I want. So I just want to see what other people thought. I've posted or asked this question on my video before, and I had like 3 people comment. One said about leaving it black. One has said that they paint it orange, and another person originally said black because it would be hard to match the flare orange paint. But when I told them about the factory paint place that I found, they basically said that it might look cool being orange. So I have a toss-up right now. So, alright, let's get back on the road. It is hot out here. Not only is it hot, it's very humid. Oop, I didn't put in gear. Right now it's about 95 degrees. And with the humidity, it's like 110. It's ridiculously hot. Yesterday it was like that too, and tomorrow it's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be in the 90s with high humidity until Thursday here. Then it's supposed to rain Thursday. Now I don't know if we have a cold front coming through, but then it's supposed to be in the 80s, 70s and 80s for the weekend. So we went through the modifications I've made. We'll discuss about the few modifications I have left that I wanted or I'm thinking about doing. Honestly, there's not much left to do. That being said, if anybody has any suggestions on stuff for me to talk about on my moto vlogs, please put your suggestions in the comments below. Most of my moto vlogs have been discussing about the modifications I've done since my last video and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm willing to discuss some of my personal life if you guys want to hear about it. I mean, obviously I'm not going to tell you everything in my life, but yeah, so I'll have to think about topics to discuss. So if you, like I said, if you have any suggestions, please put your suggestions in the comments below. Alright, so the items that I want to still incorporate in my bike, obviously once I hear more from the polls about the fairing, what I should do. If a lot of people think it'd be better to paint it, I'll have to get the paints and do that. I would like to install dash cams. One, to be better protected if I get in an accident. I have footage of what happened. one I've been looking at is the Van True F1 Gus from On the Rebel 11. He has it and he's loves it, and I've been looking at that. Another thing is, as I was saying earlier in the video, a more comfortable seat. So when I go on longer rides, I'll be a little bit more comfortable than what the seat provides me right now. Also, for my rear fender, I want to either add a rack or a rack with a tail bag or tail case. I noticed that T-Rex has a little rack, and you can get a GB case to be on top of it. They sell it as a package deal. So I've been looking at maybe getting that. I've also considered getting this rear seat and then like a sissy bar, and just get a sissy bar bag to have back there when I'm going on trips. Really, I think that's about all I want to do with the bike. When it's time to get new tires, which is not going to be for a while, but when I look to get new tires, a lot of people have been saying how well the Mitsler Cruise Tech tires are on this bike, so I might go that route. But yeah, I mean, there's not much left for me to do on this bike. I mean, obviously in due time, as things come out and stuff, I might find something that I want to add to the bike. I mean, maybe in due time, I'll switch out the saddlebags for permanent saddlebags. These permanent ones are usually larger in size, so you can hold more stuff. These saddlebags, you can't hold much. Plus the opening is kind of small, so when you have something a little bit larger, it's hard to fit into the saddlebag. Alright folks, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.